Hello，
嚇，錄緊㗎啦。
係啊，呢度咪有個 mon 咯。我哋而家喺機場，
係啦，
機場幾冷清，係冇乜人。
又係時候講拜拜啦。
係，我同我媽都係戴住呢個面罩嘅，同埋戴口罩，真係冇咩人咁。啱啱 check in 咗行李，咁就陣間準備入閘啦。So I've just went through the custom. Oh wait, let me flip this. I've just went through the custom. It was pretty smooth. It was smoother than I thought. I had a lot of electronics in my laptop bag, so take everything out, go through custom again, and yeah, it was all passed. And now I'm at gate 9. I'm just sitting on the floor because no one's really on the floor, so there's no one around me, which is good. And I'm on a call with Chari. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. You're on the vlog. You're with me in the Hong Kong airport here. How does it feel? Come again?
Just being there, done that.
Yeah, but you're now here again.
No. Push
Yeah.
me back.
Alright, wave goodbye to the vlog, and then I'll probably cut to me on the plane.
Okay.
Bye! Once I boarded the plane, I realized how empty the flight was going to be. The whole flight probably had about 30 passengers, and we pretty much have a row to our own. The plane took off and landed as per schedule, but the process of leaving the plane and going through custom took a lot longer than usual. After spending a bunch of time waiting, I finally arrived at the quarantine facility and started my 14 days of mandatory quarantine period. After about 5 hours, I finally checked in. The whole process is quite smooth. I'll fill you in later. But before I mess this whole room up, let's do a quick room tour. So, front door, you have a little wardrobe here, put my suitcase in just to keep everything tidy. Little pantry, put my little cup noodles in there, and then you have, let me flip you guys around. And then you have your bathroom, standing shower, bathtub. It's not a bad place to be. King size bed, giant TV, a whole workstation setup. Food just came. Looks like there's a giant pretzel and a salad of some sort, turkey wrap, crisp, bottle of water, which is nice. And the view, I don't exactly know where I'm facing, but I'm guessing, yeah, I have no idea where I'm facing, but I'll find out eventually. But yeah, the rest of the day I've got a little bit of reading on all the guidelines, all the safety procedures and things like that I need to catch up on, a little bit of work I have to do. But this is it, day 1. Welcome to day 2. I've just had lunch, just taking a break from work. Let's take lunch. And what do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, so I want to talk about what happened yesterday, because yesterday was a really long day. It was kind of rushed as well. So the whole process took about 5.5 hours from the moment we land to getting into this particular room. With the 450 daily passenger limit in the Sydney airport, I think how they do it is process the passenger by batch per plane. So at any one time there can be only one batch of passengers from the same plane going through the whole process. So your health screening, your passport custom, and then they also have to check your luggage, the other custom, and then they can get you on the bus. Surprisingly, the shortest amount of time is spent is the luggage custom. Usually it takes a long time because there's a lot of passengers, but I think the same measure is still in place. It's just that they're processing 30 people, 40 people at best from our plane. So it's like a 5-minute max process for us to go through. But the longest wait that we had was after all the custom, they also have a list printed out, and they have to check it off, check up your name, make sure you're here or you're not here, make sure you're here or if you are not supposed to be here. But after that, it took a while for us to get to the coach. From what I overheard, is something to do with the previous batch of passengers. I believe it's probably using the same coaches, but from what I overheard, the coaches wasn't here yet, so we were at the airport, sitting, social distancing ourselves around other passengers, and that took almost an hour. Once we're on the coach, it took them some time for the coach to set off as well, so that's another 20-30 minutes. Before you get off, the police officer briefs the whole bus or the whole coach about what's going to happen and things like that. It's printed out a document for you to bring to your room to read as well. And then they process the passengers in 2s and 3s. So the front of the bus gets to go first, and because I was sitting at the back of the bus, that took probably another half hour. But yeah, overall the instruction is quite clear, it's quite smooth, and yeah, it's just a lot of waiting. Just a lot of waiting on what I need to do and what people are going to tell you to do. Other than that, yesterday was good. I was really fortunate to be staying at the Hilton. I've heard this is a better one. My partner, she came back about 2 months earlier than I did, and she was staying in Intercontinental. I think at the time it just started, and like the whole process wasn't very defined, I guess. But yeah. So next I want to talk about some of the documents that we were given. So on the plane, we were given these 3 pages. Now I don't believe this is COVID related, but this is for African swine fever. So mainly, declare your stuff. If you're going to Australia, make sure any food, doesn't matter if you think they're going to take it away or not, just declare it. As they say in here, don't be sorry, just declare it. Second thing, these 2 are related to COVID. The green one here, let's see, information for international travelers. So what is happening when I arrive to Sydney, monitor symptoms, is kind of like prep you on the process and what you need to do if, I feel sick, what kind of symptoms, how to prevent the spread of COVID virus, how do I prevent the spread of coronavirus. And then there's the quarantine guidance for recently returned travelers, which is this page. This is a 2-page document, and also has a close-up date. So this is printed as at the 5th of August. If I remember correctly, this is most likely informing you on the procedures after you get off the airport. So where are we staying, how long is the quarantine, the accommodation fees, food, what if I become unwell, can I leave my room? No, you cannot. While you're in quarantine, you should. So monitor your symptoms, wash your hands, avoid touching your face, wear a mask properly. Wear your mask properly. They told us we don't have to wear a mask in the room, but yeah, it's okay. Any fever or coughs, you have to report it. Keep 1.5 meters away from each other, which is good. I think that's pretty much it for this one. And then once we get to the hotel, there's an additional 2 documents. So one is from the police force, the New South Wales police force. They actually read this out to you before you get off the coach as well, or the bus as well, saying this is an order. This is ordered by the Minister of Health for all the overseas travelers who have entered New South Wales to quarantine for 14 days. Further procedures on any quarantine testing, so on the 10th day and on the 2nd or 3rd day, I'll get tested for COVID, and any consequences if you do not comply, which is interesting. Let's see. And it also tells you like what kind of rights do you have if you are staying in the quarantine hotel. Obviously you can't step out of the room, but you are allowed to have care packages delivered, and also you're allowed to order takeaway. Apparently you can order takeaway meal sourced from outside of the hotel accommodation once per day per passenger. And then the rest of the documents, I really like this page. This page kind of helps you with your mental state. So you might feel lonely at times of what you need to do, shut down noise, go play games, listen to music, don't go on social media, things like that. Looking forward, talk to people. That's actually quite important, so you don't feel like you're isolated by this giant window and you can't go outside. I also touch base on fees as well. Oh, cool. So there is a page. I actually called downstairs and asked them what date I can leave. Yeah, I should have read that. Sorry. And then make sure, there's also one page for like, hey, using a public network, do not use your password, or like go on a bank account if you need to. Just make sure your app's up to date. Make sure your password's not the same, things like that. And then this one is from Hilton. So this one is actually quite useful. So it gives you an A to Z information guide on what you can do. So additional food and beverages, arranged meal periods, breakfast delivered by 8 p.m, lunch is delivered from 12, and dinner delivered from 6. Care packages information, departure information, any fire safety information, housekeeping, Wi-Fi passwords, laundry service. It's kind of nice that they give you 50% off, but at $3 a pair for a pair of undies, I would really like to wash them myself. They did give me laundry liquid though in a little paper bag, so that's really, really convenient. Any phone calls you made, things like that. If you eat anything, any snack that's provided by the Hilton Hotel, obviously that's get charges to your card. you can also order Woolworth Metro's delivery. So I'm guessing you can buy some groceries if you want to have like specific items that you want to eat or want to have, or like any amenities like shaving creams or things like that you need to use. And then there's a authorization form for your credit card, so they can charge it to your credit card. I think that's all the documents, and then there's little stickers around the room, make sure what you can do, what you can't do. Some are COVID related, some are just like general hotel stuff. And this is important. It's to do with your safety and like your fire alarm sounds. It's in the document. It also mentioned that if the fire alarm sound, that you do need to go. You have to wear a mask and keep 1.5 meters away from each other. But if there's a real fire, you do have to leave the room, which I hope it doesn't come to it. I don't want to deal with a fire in the middle of quarantine. But yeah, second day in, I'm trying to really get myself in a rhythm. I'm really fortunate to be able to work from home or work away from the office. That will keep me occupied for the 2 weeks, and just during the day take a little break for lunch, take a little break for like restore your mental healthiness, if that's a thing. Do some workout, do some push-ups, do some crunches. Yeah, day 2, so far so good. Alright, day 2. No, sorry. Why is my laptop blinking? Okay, restart. Day 4. A couple of things I want to talk about. So today's the... Wait, why am I getting the date wrong? Today's day 3. So this morning the nurse did their rounds. I didn't get a call today. 2 nurses showed up at my door to do the swab test, which is not as bad as I thought. I've heard stories about people getting a bloody nose or like a nosebleed. That didn't happen. So they go to back to throat to the swab, and then go up to your nose, kind of pretty far back. I did not know you can dig that far back without getting a nosebleed. But either way, it's the sensation is more like you went for a swim and you accidentally suck in some water through your nose. It goes away very quickly. It's a little uncomfortable, but it has to be done. Second is the checkout date. So I actually called down the other day, asked for the checkout date. They said I was connected to the hotel staff, and they mentioned they don't have the information at hand, but they would contact someone from the authority to let me know how that goes. But I actually found this page on the document that I showed you guys yesterday, the police force document, and it has a table about when you can check out. It depends on your arrival time into New South Wales. So if you arrive into Australia between midnight to 11:59 a.m. You can check out between 4 to 10 a.m. on the day of your departure. Otherwise, if you land and arrive in Australia after 12:01 and between 11:59 p.m., then your checkout time is between 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and it has a list of dates. So for me, if all goes well and I don't test negative, if all goes well and I don't test positive and I'm negative, that means I'm negative. Yes, wait. So if I get tested, the final result, and I am negative, got it, then I'll be leaving. So I'll arrive this August 12th. I'll be getting out on the 26th of August, and because I land in the morning, I should, in theory, check out between 4 to 10 a.m. on the 26th. That was good. And I also want to talk about care package, which I took a video of it earlier, so you guys can look at it now. So Charlie just dropped off a little care package in the Commonwealth Bank bag. I think these are some cookies, there's some amenities. Definitely need a face wash and a shaving cream. She brought a bag for me to bring things back out. Got my SIM card finally and some mail. And coffees. I'll be drinking these probably on the weekends. And I can do some workouts. And then she also brought some laundry powder, which is good. The process is relatively simple. Chari went to the front door or the main entrance and asked the staff what the procedure is. There wasn't much of a wait, a couple minutes I think. Maybe there wasn't too much deliveries going on, so the person was able to bring it up right away, and I was able to wave to Chari. She could somehow find her way to see me at the window waving at her, so that's good. It's good. It's like the closest I've been in 2 months, so I'm really looking forward to it at the end of the quarantine.